I don't like intros, so this is Pokemon Volt White, and I'm doing a Nuzlocke. Here are the rules. Also, the mic audio fluctuates through the video, so sorry. Anyway, we pick the best starter and immediately lose. What the fuck are you doing, Oshawott? That's a fire type. After that, Oshawott beats the grass type starter, which makes no sense, and then I go catch my first Pokemon. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. I really hope nothing bad happens to him. Anyway, we move to our first bit of plot in the game, and I decide right about here I'm playing in normal speed. And now, the best character in Pokemon, no questions asked, challenges me, and he has a third Pokemon already, so he's cheating. We narrowly escaped death by the hands of his Purloin, and just because of that, we got our own Purloin. And now we have to fight Bianca, and luckily her whole team kinda just goes down to Water Gun, so this is pretty easy. What doesn't go as easy is fighting Sharon, because Starly goes down to Water Gun, but Snivy is an issue. We beat the Snivy with the power of friendship, and then I remember I could have had Pansear, but I waited until after this fight to get Pansear, so that would have been nice to remember. Anyway, with that blunder behind us, we have to deal with our first gym leader, which is a rotation battle with the full team. And we only have 4 Pokemon. Now, to make this fight easier, they do give us the monkey that's super effective against the gym leader that you fight, but even better, our gym leader is grass type, and all the monkeys get acrobatics. And if you don't know, acrobatics is broken. So we lead with our monkey, and we acrobatics 2-shot Chikorita, and then 1-shot Bulbasaur. And then Silent brings out Pansage, the only scary Pokemon on his team, and sets up with Work Up while I just get another free kill. After that, we can 1-shot Trico and Snivy back to back, leaving only Turtwig up, and then we can 2-shot it while he doesn't even attack us. With our first gym badge, we go deal with Team Plasma for the first time, and Lillipup kinda just clears through this first run. After that performance, Lillipup evolves, and then Herdier can sweep through the second grunt before we bring Pansear out to clear up the Cacnea at the end. And then we get laced with Fent or something, because I'm seeing 2 of this guy right now. After we watch that guy literally disappear, we get our encounter for the Dream Yard. Which is alright, I guess. Next up, we have to fight Sharon again, and luckily for us, even evolved, Staravia will still go down to just a few water guns. Snivy is no longer an issue for us, because we have a Pansear with acrobatics. Roggenrola comes out, and we can switch Oshawott back in to use water gun again. And we can finish this fight off by bringing Herdier in to bite the Panpour twice. Anyway, Team Plasma is doing more evil, so we have to go into this random cave to stop them. But before that, we get our encounter. And oh my fucking god, was that ever the best thing I've ever seen. With a Dragon Raging Axew in our back pocket, we can send it out and just kill Gulpin, Nummel, and Houndour back to back to back. Then, in the double battle, I can get 2 more free kills on Poochyena and Tentacool, also with Dragon Rage. And then we basically just send Herdier in to live hits while I watch Sharon kill everything else on the field with Roggenrola. And then, of course, with my luck, I get an encounter on the only 3 patches of grass that I had to walk through to avoid this trainer. And Mareep is okay, I guess? And then with my luck again, I get a Slowpoke over here who I think does something in the end of the game for me, but I don't really know. It sure as hell is not doing anything for now though, because it's a first stage and it evolves at level 37. Anyway, before going into our second gym, we stop into Pinwheel Forest really quick and we grab a Sock, who I give a very original name to. We do get an evolution with Duwa, and then N jumps us before we can go in the gym. End leads with Bronzor and Drillbur, and we deal with Drillbur turn 1 with Acrobatics and Double Kick. End brings Vulpix in, so we switch Sock into Purloin, and we use Yawn on Vulpix before it can do anything. We do switch Purloin into Axew immediately, but we can almost kill Bronzor, and now Vulpix is put to sleep. We do finish Bronzor off next turn, and we use Dragon Rage on Vulpix and leave it on 1 HP. We use Dragon Rage on Timple, and we switch Pansear into Duat so we can kill both of them the next turn. This leaves End with just Zorua, and we can Dragon Rage it twice for the win. And now we have this gym fight, where Lenora leads with 2 Pokemon with Intimidate. We lead with Axew and Pansear so we can put Stantler to sleep with Yawn, and we can deal big damage on it with Dragon Rage. We use Yawn again on Herdier, and then we switch out to Sock so we can set up with Work Up. After Sock is +6 attack, we kinda just sweep through the rest of Lenora's team. After that, Team Plasma just steals a Skull for some reason, and then they just give it back just as easy as they took it. After that, we get a Sandile, and then we evolve a few Pokemon before we go to the next gym. Berg leads with Vespiquen and Masquerain, and of course, one of them also has Intimidate. This time we do have special attackers though, so we use Shockwave to chip away at Vespiquen and Air Cutter to chip away at both. After that, we unfortunately have to sacrifice Zatsu, but we set up Tailwind before he dies, and then we use Shockwave to kill Masquerain. After that, we bring Simisear out to Fire Pledge one-shot Scolipede, and we Thunder Wave Vespiquen to make it basically useless. With the Vespiquen paralyzed, we can one-shot Heracross, Yanmega, and Leavanny back to back to back, and then kill Vespiquen to finish the fight. After that, we have a rotation battle with Sharon, where he leads with Staravia, Baldur, and Kadabra, and we lead with Ampharos, Simisear, and Krokorok. Turn 1, we Thunder Wave to see who Sharon wants to rotate in, and we paralyze Baldur. Expecting Kadabra to come in to deal with Ampharos, we switch to Krokorok and we use Crunch, but we do basically nothing because he stays with Baldur. Expecting Staravia to come in, we use Shockwave with Ampharos and deal half health to Kadabra instead. We use Shockwave again, and he does bring Staravia in this time, and we can one-shot it. After that, we switch to Simisear, and we can finish Kadabra off with a Fire Pledge. Simipour comes out next, so we switch to Ampharos and try Shockwaving it to get a kill, but he switches to Baldur, and we can almost kill that instead. We try Shockwave one more time with Ampharos, and he does switch back into Simipour, so we get a free kill. After that, we can use Fire Pledge with Simisear a few times to kill Servine, and then switch it to Duat to kill Baldur. With Sharon behind us, we get a Golett and a Gligar from our new encounters, and we evolve Herdier into Stoutland. After that, End goes on a Ferris wheel with us, and then just jumps us. End leads with Maractus and Hippopotas, and we lead with Duat and Simisear. Turn 1, we can one-shot Maractus with Fire Pledge from Simisear, and we can almost one-shot Hippopotas with Razor Shell from Duat. End brings out Sigilif, and we switch Simisear into Gligar while Hippopotas tries using Dig on it. After that, my dumbass tries using Knockoff, forgetting that in Gen 5 it's 20 base power without items, and it does basically nothing to Sigilif, and then we can kill Hippopotas with another Razor Shell. After that, we switch Duwat and Gligar out to Simisear and Ampharos, and Sigilif uses Synchronoise, and I still don't know what this move does, but it only does damage to Gligar, so it's good. After that, we use Fire Pledge on Gligar, and then Sigilif kills it with Synchronoise, and then we can kill Sigilif with a Shockwave. N brings in Larvesta and Golett, so we switch Ampharos out to Duwat, and we can one-shot Larvesta with Acrobatics. Last up is Golett, and we can one-shot it with Razor Shell to win. Before going into the next gym, we get a few more Pokemon like Arcan, Audino, and Nidoqueen, and we get a few evolutions like Archeops, Slowbro, Fracture, and Bisharp. Lucky for us, Elisa's a single battle, so in terms of major battles, this should be one of the easier ones. Elisa leads with Emolga, and oh my fucking god. Yeah, Archeops has this stat spread, by the way. We do kill it with a few Rock Slides, but for Archeops, that's an embarrassing show. Next comes out Galvantula, and we switch into Gligar to eat Thunder, and then use Acrobatics twice for another kill. Third out comes Manectric, and even though we're a Ground type, and it's an Electric type, we almost lost to it. After our second embarrassing show of the same fight, we have a third one where our Nidoqueen loses to Raichu. We bring Krokorok in to finish Raichu off, and then she brings out Ampharos, who can't touch Golurk, so we just get a free kill. And last up, but definitely not least, is Zebstrika, who kills Stoutland with a Wild Charge. We just bring Krokorok back in and it gets another kill, but that was still upsetting. Of course, there's another fight with Sharon on the horizon, so we evolve Krokorok and then we go fight him. Sharon leads with Staraptor, so we lead with Ampharos and we just Shockwave one-shot at turn 1 to get a kill. Sharon sends out Gigalith next, so we switch into our newly evolved Crocodile while he sets up rocks. Using Dig twice with Crocodile is enough to kill it, so then he sends out Serperior and we have to send Archeops out. Serperior puts Archeops almost in defeatist range, but we just barely stay above half health, so we can one-shot Serperior with Acrobatics. Simipour comes out next, and actually our best option is Fracture, because it can tank everything and kill with just 2 Dragon Claws. Last out is Alakazam, and without switching, we just use Dragon Claw 2 more times for another kill. After that, we get 2 encounters, one being bad and one being really good. After God answers our prayers and gives us a Weavile for the Ground-type gym, we find out Weavile is basically useless for this gym, and now we're out of options for the whole gym fight. That is before we found out about Swords Dance boosted Acrobatics by Glasgow. And believe it or not, until we found out about Swords Dance, this was going to be the hardest fight of the entire run for us because we had no options. Lucky for us, the GOAT Gliscor just swept the entire team in front of us. And of course, what is another gym badge without another rival fight to inconvenience me? Bianca leads with Mienfoo, and we lead with Gliscor to one-shot it with Acrobatics turn 1. Bianca brings out Persian, and we bring Sawk in to one-shot it with a Brick Break. Then she brings in Musharna, and we bring Crocodile in, and we use Crunch, but she switches into Simisage, so we get a free Crunch on Simisage instead. Next, we switch to Simisear, and we Fire Pledge to finish off Simisage. Bianca sends her starter Emboar out next, and we switch to our starter Samurott, and we can one-shot it with a Razor Shell. Last out, Bianca sends Musharna in, and we switch to Crocodile because Musharna can't hit Crocodile at all, so we can kill it with a few crunches. Next up is Chargestone Cave, and we get the best possible encounter here. Not because Galvantula is overly good, it's just because I like Galvantula the most. And I lost the recording of me fighting N in Chargestone Cave, but this is about how it went. Last thing before the next gym fight is we can guarantee an Emolga encounter in the Rustling Grass because we already have Gliscor and Audino. Going into this gym fight, Skyla leads with Braviary, Skarmory, and Mandibuzz, and we lead with Galvantula, Emolga, and Weavile. We start with Ice Punch with Weavile on Mandibuzz, and then we use Discharge with Galvantula and Emolga so we can almost kill all 3 of them turn 1. After that, we switch Emolga for Gliscor, Weavile for Ampharos, and we use Discharge with Galvantula, and we can kill Braviary and one-shot Swanna. With that comes a Stone Edge crit on Ampharos, though, because of course I can't have a gym fight that easy. This is where we start making blunders, because we switch Galvantula for Weavile, Gliscor can't really do anything with Acrobatics, and we watch Emolga just die to Archeops. Last, we use Ice Punch with Weavile and Gliscor to kill it in one shot, and then Galvantula can one-shot Archeops. Are you fucking kidding me? And yes, that does mean all 3 of my electric types died in about the same 10-second span of time in the flying type gym. And oh my god, another battle with Sharon. We use U-turn with Gliscor to see who Sharon's going to rotate into, and he rotates into Gigalith, so we bring Crocodile out. We rotate to Weavile and use Ice Punch, and it ends up hitting Gigalith, but luckily Gigalith just uses Stealth Rocks. We rotate Samurott in, and we use Aqua Tail to kill Gigalith, and then Sharon brings in Superior. Now that Sharon has a Frail Alakazam and 2 Pokemon weak to Ice moves on the field, we rotate to Weavile to Ice Punch, and we almost kill Alakazam in one hit. We go for one more Ice Punch, and Sharon rotates into Staraptor, and we one-shot it. With Houndoom on the field now, we switch Weavile for Gliscor, and we only get punished by getting paralyzed. With Gliscor on the field and Superior not really being able to kill it in one hit, this leads perfectly into Sharon always rotating to Houndoom or Alakazam, both who will die to an Earthquake from Crocodile. Sharon ends up rotating into Houndoom, and we one-shot it with Earthquake before Simipour comes out, and we have to switch Crocodile for Amoonguss. After Amoonguss tanks Shadow Ball from Alakazam and Gliscor tanks a Fling from Simipour, we can use U-turn to switch into Weavile and then bait Alakazam out with Amoonguss to kill it with Weavile. After that, Sharon uses Hydro Cannon with Simipour, which basically does nothing to Samurott, and then we use Sacred Sword to get it low to finish it off with Weavile. And last, just Superior on the field, we can just use Ice Punch once with Weavile for another free win. And just after we get done Twist Mountain, we get some of the best encounters in the whole game. The first 5 encounters were Gastrodon, Stunfisk, Larvitar, Wailmer, and Heracross, and Tyranitar and Heracross cover Rock and Fighting, 2 types I definitely needed. Before going any further though, we do evolve Wailmer into Wailord and Larvitar all the way up to Tyranitar. But after that, we get Dragonair from Dragon Spiral Tower, we get Gabite from the chamber where Cobalion normally is, and then we get Magneton from the P2 laboratory. We swiftly go to evolve them all into Dragonite, Garchomp, and Magnezone respectively, but we also get Chandelure here, so that's cool. With all of those amazing encounters, let's just go to the 7th gym and then just lead with our 2 oldest Pokemon. We can kill Glaceon with Overheat from Simisear, and then Abomasnow with Sacred Sword from Samurott turn 1 before Bryson brings out Froslass and Beartic. When Froslass and Beartic come out, we have to switch Samurott to Weavile and then Simisear to Sawk. With Weavile and Sawk out, we can use Night Slash with Weavile on Froslass and then Close Combat with Sawk on Beartic to one-shot both of them as well. Last out, Bryson brings Cryogonal and Vanillix out, so we switch into Magnezone and Simisear to tank the ice moves. This takes a turn for the worse when Simisear gets frozen immediately, and I stupidly just risked Simisear's life and didn't switch. And understandably, I did get what I deserved. Simisear died, and Magnezone almost died. With that event behind us, we switch out to Samurott and Chandelure to guarantee we can kill this Cryogonal before it kills anything else. And yes, that means I have lost a Fire type in the Ice Gym after losing Electric types in the Flying Gym. I don't want to talk about it. Now we get to climb Dragon Spiral Tower, and we give some of our new Pokemon like Tyranitar, Garchomp, and Heracross some time to shine. After we make it to the top, we watch N summon Reshiram, and then vow to take the whole Pokemon League down, and our fraud of a champion did nothing about it. Now, he does go under the Relic Castle to talk to Getsus, but so do these two 10-year-olds, so he's not doing that much. And even better, we get the Darkstone, he doesn't. And here comes our worst fight of the entire run, the triple battle against Bianca right before the 8th gym. Bianca leads with Mean Chao, Musharna, and Persian, while we lead with Magnezone, Heracross, and Samurott. Turn 1, we immediately switch Magnezone for Chandelure, so Mean Chao will take half health from trying to high jump kick it. Heracross Mega Horn kills Musharna and gets its Moxie boost, and then Samurott can almost kill Persian with a Sacred Sword. Bianca brings Simisage out to replace Musharna, and this is where everything started crumbling. We had to switch Heracross for Slowbro to avoid dying in one hit to Acrobatics from Simisage, and then Chandelure almost dies to Stone Edge in the process. And then while that's happening, we try using Aqua Jet to finish off Persian, and then Bianca ended up healing Persian back to full so we don't kill it. Bianca then brings Emboar out, and we have to switch Chandelure for Dragonite to tank Stone Edge, which it barely does. And then Persian almost kills Slowbro and Samurott with Swift. And this is where it gets good, because since we expected Emboar to kill Slowbro because it was on the tiniest sliver of health, we set Swords Dance up with Samurott, hoping to kill Emboar the next turn with an Aqua Jet, because Slowbro is not something we care about. And instead, Emboar Wild Charged and killed Dragonite. This means that Dragonite's only feat and only use of the whole run, after being one of the best encounters we could have got, was to catch a Gabite. Since Slowbro does actually live, we can use Surf, and it does kill Mean Chao and almost kills Emboar and Persian, but like, come on. The next turn we use Aqua Jet on Emboar to make sure it dies, but there's a very fatal moment here where Persian kills Slowbro and Samurott with Swift. That means we are now forced to bring out Heracross and our Chandelure that is on 1 HP. The next turn, Heracross gets 2 uses of Hypnosis aimed at it by Persian and Milotic, and then because I forgot to teach Chandelure Flamethrower or Fire Blast, we're stuck using Inferno on Persian, and of course it missed. And while that goes on, we're kind of just fishing for a status condition on Milotic with Tri-Attack, and we're not getting it. The next turn, Hypnosis hits Chandelure, so now 2 of our Pokemon are asleep, and we still don't get a status condition with Tri-Attack. We're at the point of this fight where turns are kind of just going by with Heracross and Chandelure being asleep, not getting a status condition with Tri-Attack, and Persian chipping away at Heracross with Swift until it dies. And even better, Milotic used Hypnosis on Magnezone now, so with Heracross dead, both of our last 2 Pokemon are asleep. And after probably like 7 turns of Chandelure being asleep, she finally wakes up and kills Persian, and we get a clutch turn 1 wake up with Magnezone to kill Milotic with Discharge. And it is absolutely safe to say I hate Bianca now, because what the fuck was that? She just killed Dragonite, Slowbro, Samurott, and Heracross in the same one fight. After that, we get this bum-ass Palpitoad, and we see Team Plasma for the last time before the Pokemon League. For our last encounter before the 8th gym, we get a Gothorita, and I just gave up on nicknames at this point. Going into the last gym, Iris leads with Altaria, Gyarados, and Druddigon, while we lead with Magnezone, Haxorus, and Weavile. Turn 1, we use Ice Punch with Weavile on Druddigon to kill it, we use Dragon Claw with Haxorus on Altaria to kill it, and then all 3 of them tank Earthquake before Magnezone can one-shot Gyarados with Thunderbolt. Next out, Iris brings Dragonite, Haxorus, and Kingdra in, while we switch Magnezone out for Tyranitar, and we can kill Haxorus with Ice Punch from Weavile, and we can kill Kingdra with Dragon Claw from our Haxorus. And if you'll notice, her Dragonite is still on the field, untouched, which means we lost our Haxorus here too. It does suck we lost Haxorus, but Garchomp outclasses it in every way, so as long as Garchomp stays alive, we were fine. After Garchomp revenge kills Dragonite with Outrage, we get our 8th gym badge, and oh my fucking god, another fight with Sharon. I am so tired of planning for basically the same 6 Pokemon, so I calced the whole Pokemon League, and I came in to fight Sharon with basically all fodder. We lead Archeops into Sharon's Staraptor, and we use Head Smash and die to recoil damage, and just barely don't kill. We bring Weavile in to finish Staraptor off, and then we switch out to Seismitoad when he brings in Simipour, and we spam Bulldoze and Earth Power until it somehow wins. Next is Alakazam, and we bring Weavile back in to kill it with a Night Slash. Before he sends out Gigalith next, and we switch Golurk in to kill it with 2 Earthquakes. Next comes in Houndoom, and we switch to Stunfisk, and just barely miss the kill with Earth Power, so we just let Stunfisk die. We bring Weavile back in, and it does literally 1 damage to Houndoom to kill it, and then we Ice Punch Superior to finally deal with these 2 rivals and never have to fight them again. After finally making it to the Pokemon League, we run back in Victory Road for just a second to grab a Zweilous, and then we go in. For our first Elite Four fight, we pick Caitlyn, and we lead Chandelure and Weavile to Ice Punch one-shot Sigilyph and Shadow Ball one-shot Musharna in 1 turn. Next out, Caitlyn sends Reuniquus and Bronzong out, and we can Night Slash crit to one-shot Reuniquus and Flamethrower one-shot Bronzong on the 2nd turn. Last out, Caitlyn sends in Gothitelle and Behem, and Gothitelle is quad weak to Bug, so Weavile's X-Scissor can one-shot it, and then Chandelure can Shadow Ball Behem and also one-shot it. That makes the first of the Elite Four done, and done with 0 damage taken. For our next Elite Four member, we go to Chantal and we lead with Chandelure and Weavile again, so we can Ice Punch Drifblim and Shadow Ball Golurk for 2 one-shots turn 1. Next, Chantal sends out Jellicent and Frostlass, and we switch Chandelure out for Tyranitar, and we kill Frostlass with Night Slash from Weavile. Next, Chantal sends Chandelure in, and we switch Weavile for our own Chandelure, and Tyranitar avoids a Hydro Pump and gets a Stone Edge one-shot on Chandelure. With just Mismagius and Jellicent left, we switch Chandelure for Garchomp, and Garchomp barely lives a Shadow Ball and Hydro Pump from both of them, and then Tyranitar can crunch one-shot Mismagius. And now that it's just Jellicent left, we can tank a Hydro Pump and kill it with a Crunch with Tyranitar. That makes 2 Elite Four members, and our luck is not going to continue. We pick Grimsley as our 3rd Elite Four member, and he leads with Liepard and Sharpedo while we lead with Sawk and Magnezone. Liepard has the ability Prankster, which makes Charm go before Sawk can one-shot it, which is something I completely forgot about, so I don't actually kill Liepard, and I actually almost die to Hydro Pump. We can kill Sharpedo in 1 Thunderbolt, but we actually don't have a plan anymore. Honchkrow comes in next, so we switch Sock out for Tyranitar, and Magnezone actually gets paralyzed by Liepard. Another thing I forgot about Gen 5, so we can't even kill Honchkrow. Tyranitar can Stone Edge Liepard to kill it, and then Magnezone breaks through the paralysis on the same turn and kills Honchkrow with Thunderbolt. After that, Grimsley brings Absol and Houndoom out, so we switch Tyranitar for Chandelure and Magnezone for Garchomp. We have Garchomp use Earthquake to kill Houndoom and almost kill Absol, but not Chandelure because it is Levitate, and then Chandelure can finish Absol off with Flamethrower. Last, Grimsley sends out Bisharp, and this thing is a problem because it has a move to kill everything in our team in one hit except Garchomp. With Chandelure already being low, we expected Bisharp to target that side of the field, so we switched out to Sock as a sacrifice, fully expecting it to die, but Bisharp Sucker Punched Garchomp, and we killed Sock with our own Earthquake. We send Weavile back in, and with a Night Slash, a Fire Fang from Garchomp, and another Low Kick from Weavile, we can finally kill the stupid Bisharp. And now we're down a Pokemon for the last Elite Four member, which is always fun. The last of the Elite Four is Marshall, and he leads with a Sock and a Throw, while we lead with Chandelure and Garchomp. Garchomp uses Earthquake to do around half to both of them, while Chandelure lives a Stone Edge and then uses Psychic to kill Throw. Poliwrath comes out next, so we switch Chandelure for Magnezone, while Garchomp uses Outrage, which hits Poliwrath, also doing about half, while we tank Icy Wind from Poliwrath. We switch Magnezone for Chandelure to take no damage from close combat, and then Chandelure and Garchomp both barely live Icy Wind, while Garchomp Outrage kills Poliwrath. Xiao is out next, so we switch Chandelure for Tyranitar, and we switch Garchomp for Magnezone, and unfortunately, Magnezone is on the high jump kick side of the field. This does do some good though, because we can bring Garchomp back in for free without confusion, while we switch Tyranitar for Chandelure to make Sock take half its damage from high jump kick, while Garchomp kills both of them with Earthquake. Marshall's last two Pokemon are Conkeldurr and Breloom, and Garchomp can live a Mach Punch from Conkeldurr before it gets burnt from the Flame Orb, and then Earthquake and Flamethrower from both Garchomp and Chandelure can kill Breloom before it can move. Since Conkeldurr is the last Pokemon on the field, and both of our Pokemon can die in one hit, this leaves it up to a coin toss whether he wants to kill Chandelure or Garchomp. So we switch out to Weavile on Chandelure's side just in case, and Garchomp can actually kill it with Outrage before it moves. With all the Elite Four done, we would normally go fight the champion, but this game has a little plot twist. N does beat the Pokemon League before us, and then he summons this castle for us to trek through. Before we go to the few final fights of the game, we do get a cameo of all the gym leaders coming to help, we get some of the best Pokemon music flat out ever, and we even watch Reshiram break through the wall of the castle to get in, and we summon Zekrom, hatch it, and we don't use it because that's cringe. And now we have to fight N. N leads with Reshiram while we lead with Garchomp, but Reshiram is actually Zoroark, and it somehow dies to one Earthquake from Garchomp. Next out's Porygon Z, so we switch to Tyranitar and we outdamage it with Stone Edge and Earthquake. After that, Electivire comes in, so we switch to Gliscor to eat a Volt Tackle and we one-shot it with Earthquake. N sends in Slowking next, so we U-turn into Bisharp, and we give Bisharp its only moment of the whole run to do something. And it almost couldn't even do that. Now N sends his actual Reshiram in, and we have to sack Bisharp to get a free switch to Garchomp to kill with Earthquake. Last up is Aerodactyl, and we switch to Crocodile while it sets up and misses Head Smash, and we can kill with a few crunches. After we beat N, Getsus comes in and just slanders N's name as if he doesn't have a Reshiram to his name, and then challenges us. Getsus leads Drapion while we're forced to lead Garchomp still, and we can kill it with an Earthquake turn 1. Next out comes Genesect, so we switch into Tyranitar, and we use Flamethrower of all things to use up Genesect's Focus Sash, but we also get a burn so we can kill it in 1 turn. Getsus sends in Hydreigon next, so we sack Tyranitar to send Garchomp in for free to kill it with an Outrage. With Garchomp stuck in Outrage, Getsus sends in Dusknoir, who we can almost kill, but Getsus uses a full restore and then kills us in return. We send Crocodile in to kill Dusknoir with a few crunches, and then Gyarados comes in, so we chip away at it with Sucker Punch before sacking Crocodile. We bring in Weavile to finish off Gyarados with an Ice Punch, and then Getsus sends out his last Pokemon, Electros, who we try to chip away at with Ice Punch, but Weavile actually lives a Rock Slide, so we can win with Ice Punch. And just like that, we beat Pokemon Volt White. On to the credits. There is still one more fraud we have to fight.